Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to G for G on YouTube. I am Napalm Dawn, and today we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard again. Yeah, the hits just keep on coming with these guys. Be nice if I could go ahead and give you guys some Marvel Avengers Alliance Redux Beta 4 updates, but I don't have any to give you. I'm going to check out the update to Avengers with the new raid and everything, but I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I won't be able to check out Spider-Man, so we're going to talk about this today. So the other day, the first piece of news yesterday was that a right-leaning group wanted Bobby Kotick removed from Coca-Cola's board. So this National Legal and Policy Center, a right-leaning organization, because I think people have dove into this and found out that it isn't like super right, so we're just going to call it right-leaning, promotes ethics in public life, has written to the Coca-Cola chairman and CEO James Quincy asking that he immediately seek the resignation of Bobby the Shit Weasel Kotick from Coke's company board of directors. So what is going on here in this one is that Bobby Kotick actually sits on the board of Coca-Cola, and there are people who know this, and because they know this, they're writing to Coke to go ahead and get him kicked off the board. That has been making the rounds since last night. A couple of places have posted the image of the Coca-Cola board, and it's slightly over 10 men to about 5 women, and some people thought it was a picture of Blizzard, and I'm like, oh, nice representation, Blizzard. I'm like, you gotta read the article. This is Coke's board of directors over here, and that's Bobby Kotick. They weren't getting it that it was about Coke. And some people are like, what does Coke have to do with Blizzard? We're like, Jesus Christ, just read the fucking article. It's the fact that he sits on Coke's board of directors. So that's not a good look. When what you're doing for your own company is so bad that people want you removed from other things that you're associated with. And no, by the way, don't even begin to think this is cancel culture. This is not cancel culture. This is anti-shit culture is really what this is. That is all that this boils down to, is Kotick is so bad that people want him removed of the other things that he's associated with. So this article over here, also on Kotaku.com, is that state treasurers for California, Massachusetts, Illinois, Oregon, Delaware, and Nevada are calling on Activision to take more serious measures to get rid of the problems behind the high-profile investigations and lawsuits. The treasurers have asked to meet with the board members at Activision Blizzard by December 20th, threatening action if they don't comply. In case you were unaware of the other news, and that is the board has been sticking by Bobby the Shit Weasel Kotick and not choosing to fire him. In the last video when this was brought up, one of the fans of the channel, Darth Plato, had mentioned that usually when you see this happen, there's a good sign that potentially he has dirt on those people. I don't know about that so much as maybe they are just similarly like-minded people in that he's friendly with them because they share a kind of hive mind, and they believe that Bobby Kotick is good for the company. Now, under Bobby Kotick's reign, Activision Blizzard King, ABK, does rake in a ton of money, especially King through the Candy Crush series and everything, and Activision through their near weekly installments of Call of Duty. But Blizzard is sort of just kind of been this steady workhorse that isn't really gaining them a lot of money, but used to gain them a lot of fans. Not now. Right now, the culture at Blizzard has been so bad that my World of Warcraft guild just kind of doesn't exist right now. It is occasionally depressing and sad, but the more things that happen at Blizzard, the more I don't care about it. The more it's just like, what? It's like that scene in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire where they go to the graveyard and what's his nuts is Harry Potter's friend that he gets along with over there. He gets killed, and they come back. They touch the cup, and then they come back to the competition, and the father is like, "My boy, that's my son," and he's like trying to get out of the stands, and get to him and everything. It's it's the guy who played over in the Twilight series when he was in that Harry Potter film. I want to say Robert Patrick, but that's not Robert Patrick. That's the guy from Terminator 2. Anyway, the guy who's going to play Batman pretty soon. So it's that wailing, that just utter despair wailing is one of the best media wails of just heart breaking that I think I've ever heard in anything. That's sometimes how I feel with Blizzard when I look at the landscape of my guild and the fact that we've existed since 2004. We have a charter that existed since January 8th through the 18th of 2005. I mean, we're going on a 17-year anniversary in just a little while. But Blizzard killed it. It's not even so much the WoW content, is that it was the company, and people just they felt slimy playing games from a company that was doing what Blizzard was doing. And most of the guild really did feel that way. There wasn't that big of a split of people going, oh, that's just woke bullshit, and people going, no, this is like real, this is a terrible company. It really was like 90%, 10%. And I still play Overwatch pretty much daily because the Overwatch team is actually one of the ones that has escaped controversy at Blizzard. But I so rarely log into WoW now. When 9.2 comes out, I'm going to give it a try, but I might be alone. And that is a painful thing at times, to know that you were the guild master 100% of the way of a guild that has existed since 2004 with very little in the way of breaks. We had a break in Warlord of Draenor, and then every other break has actually been when we finish content. This does get painful at times, as my druid is literally an extension of me. If you know a Displacer Beast from Dungeons and Dragons, it's basically a very inky, dark Black Panther with these tentacles that come out of them that are capable of like rasping. They have things on the tentacles, sort of like an octopus, or kind of kraken tentacle that's in front of them with that little spade piece at the end. That's what my druid is like to me. He's like one of those tentacles. He's an extension of me, and they just killed it. It's, whoa, look at my boy, look at my guild, what have they done? So yeah, now the state treasurers are getting involved, because what has happened is that the investors have told the board, if you don't get rid of Bobby Kotick, we will vote you out. At the next available opportunity, we will vote in board members who are willing to get rid of Bobby Kotick. So right now, Bobby Kotick is between a brick wall, a frying pan, a fire, and a steamroller. He's surrounded in every direction by people calling for his head. And now he has state treasurers doing it. And you may be asking, well, what do state treasurers have to do with anything? And this paragraph explains it. For those who don't know, they're in charge of overseeing financial matters that concern its states and its citizens. Treasurers in states like Illinois, for example, serve as auditors of public accounts. But why would a state treasurer care about a video game? Like, who cares? So, well, some states have active investments in Activision Blizzard that are affected by the company's stock prices, which in turn affect pension funds that people use in retirement. So what this is, if you're not up on this part of it, is that by Kotick hiding this from the investors over the years, so rather than in 2006 telling them this controversy happened, and then in 2008 saying this sexual assault happened, and then in 2010 saying we just discovered there are these cube crawls, and then in 2011 saying, hey, there was an incident at a BlizzCon with the Cosby suite. he kept it all under wraps. So a steam valve, a steam pressure cooker thing kind of happened. And rather than letting the valve out little by little when things were happening, by keeping it all in that pressure cooker, everything boiled over this year with all of the lawsuits and everything that came to light. And now what's happening is their stock has tanked instantly. So rather than maybe a little dip and then coming back up or fixing the problem so it doesn't happen again, they allowed it to propagate and replicate like a virus. And now the cell has burst, and now the virus is out in the wild, and everybody knows it. So everybody who relied on Blizzard stock doing well is losing their absolute skin in this. And Kotick has said that, well, I'll quit if I can't fix the company's culture, but everybody's quitting before him. Women are quitting Activision Blizzard en masse and citing him as the reason why they're leaving and saying we don't have any faith that he could do it. I like to vote no confidence in the Senate. Remember that from Star Wars. It's the only thing that I could think of in this the whole time is just I like to vote no confidence in Bobby Kotick. It's not good, because now you even have console heads. Phil Spencer of Xbox, Jim Ryan of PlayStation, Nintendo's president Doug Bowser, they're all distancing themselves from Activision. Can you imagine how bad things would be for Activision Blizzard if these consoles were like, we don't want your games? What would it be like if Blizzard trying to branch into these consoles where they're sending Diablo 3 over to the Switch and other consoles and everything, and maybe the Diablo 2 remaster? Imagine if one of these was like, we don't want your Call of Duty, or we don't want Overwatch 2 on our system, or we're not going to give you any perks whatsoever. They're going to feel the pinch. So pretty soon, I really think Blizzard, or Activision Blizzard, ABK, will have no chance other than getting rid of Bobby Kotick. Because I think everybody will be losing such faith in them that the fans won't be playing their games. The people who head up the companies that their games play on won't want to be dealing with them. State treasurers are going after them. The investors are going after them. Everybody's calling the settlement chump change and basically jack shit. People are leaving heavily from them. And they can't escape this cult. They really are on this dryer tumble cycle right now. My girlfriend is an artist, happened to explain it today like this. They can't keep talent because the tumble is spitting the talent out. So you have this, let's just say World of Warcraft, for example, and you have these talented artists that are known for drawing the armor sets for the classes of the game: druids, shaman, warriors, death knights. So you have these really talented artists who really know what it's like to be a death knight and create armor that makes you feel like Arthas, the Lich King, which, sadly for me, it's about a year ago that you remember the original mascot of the channel, Arthas, passed away about a year ago, almost to the day, so things are getting a little emotional for a day or two here for me, because that 1 year anniversary is unfortunately coming up. I'll be okay once I get on the other side of it, but these last few days, knowing that countdown is happening, it's got me a little affected again by it. But you've got designers that know what it's like to play a druid and get the nature elements and the earthy feel to it, and twigs and leaves and the rejuvenation of nature, or the white purity or the holiness of priests and paladins, or the rugged super metal tanks of being a warrior. There were people who understood those design philosophies, and they made their armor sets fit them. Now, the set that's coming out in 9.2, everybody looks like a priest, and if you're big enough and bulky enough, everybody looks like a paladin. And it was explained that those people who worked 80-hour weeks and 60-hour weeks that love to do their work have eventually burnt out because the company is so shit and they're constantly doing crunch, 80-hour work weeks and 60-hour work weeks, and are not really seeing a career progression because Blizzard's been chintzy with raises and things like that, that the bloom is off the rose and they don't want to work for Blizzard anymore. So they leave. And a lot leave at one time. So you get these bright, fresh stars in their eyes, kids out of college going, oh my god, I'm going to work at Blizzard. And then they get in there and they are ground to dust by the system. They're doing those 80-hour weeks, those 60-hour weeks. And the older mentors aren't there anymore. The people who put 20 years into the business, 15 years into the business, understood a druid from a shaman and a death knight from a warrior, they're gone. So they're so happy to be there. They're like, yeah, I'll do the 80 hours, I'll do the 60 hours. And they're producing crap because they're new and nobody's training them. And then what happens is they start to get burnout and they're living 7 deep in a little 2x2 shed in Irvine because nobody can afford to live out there and Blizzard isn't paying them enough, and they're paying them less than the veterans who left because that's how Activision makes their money, is not by doing better things and better games, but by screwing over the workforce, like firing 800 people. And now the new guys are getting ground into dust, and they're like, you know what? This starry-eyed 22, 24-year-old kid that I was a year ago, who's just so happy to work at Activision Blizzard, that person doesn't exist anymore. I don't want to live in this shack with 7 other people in Irvine, California. So I'm going to leave. And now they really don't have anybody approaching an expert. And the tumble cycle just keeps continuing. It's bringing in these starry-eyed kids and then spitting them out too quickly. And the problem is, with what is happening now, with everything coming to light about what it's like to work at Blizzard and the toxic culture and the super misogynistic culture, and it's not very diverse, and all the problems that have been obscured from view, once they're realizing it, and they're realizing it so quickly because they're living it, they're leaving super fast. So the turnover continues, and there's going to be a gap. There's going to be a huge gap in talent going to Activision Blizzard because nobody's going to want to work for a company that is going through this stuff until Bobby Kotick is fired. And people like Bobby Kotick in the upper echelons of the company are fired. So they're not going to get any talent in, and the people who suffer are me, the players. 9.2 for World of Warcraft might suck. The tier sets might suck. I might not be able to rebuild the guild. I might not get the guild active again. So, you know what? I am screwed. Something that I'm super proud of having built and kept together since 2004, and know that people come back to my guild because they like my leadership and they like the guild, and that's such a wonderful compliment, that's gone. And if I play, I might just be alone again, like I was right in the very beginning before people started to follow me over in vanilla. So I said it in the last video, say it again. Everybody hates Bobby Kotick, the shit weasel. So that is the current update on what is going on with Activision Blizzard. Really, they have no choice at this point. There is only one path to righteousness. The light side of the force right now is to fire Bobby Kotick. There is nothing that can be done. He can't fix it. People who have been put in place to fix it have believed that it won't be fixed while he is around. They are a shell of the Blizzard we knew, and there is no redeeming them, unfortunately, at this point. So they have to be hit in the pocketbook, like they say. Buyers need to stop really buying the games and talk with their wallets while everybody else talks with their sanctions. That's the only thing that's going to work. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.